find that helps. There's weird shadows here from the lights and that. I do at home. You think you need one. You can ask them if they have one here. They might have one. Yeah, you can't.
Around the stair, I think I'm on the last stair.
That's it, yeah, you can't do that.
Not.
Different distances. If I'm working something close, really farther, I can the computer, if I'm reading, I can just walk around. Right, yes, I have two strong glasses.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is wonderful. So let me welcome you. My name's Elizabeth Jones. I'm the minister here. Elizabeth I, wearing the teal there, the aquamarine, has been the one who has brainstormed and made this happen. So thanks to her and her team who have been wandering around. So welcome to this inaugural afternoon tea concert. This is lovely. I think some of you are aware that we are able to do this because we thought it would be a good idea for the neighborhood to do one of these, and the federal government thought it was a good idea, so they gave us a little bit of money to help us do this. And I think they would like a little bit of... Though you're all taxpayers or have been at some point, so you can also pat your own shoulder because you contributed with your tax dollars for this to happen. So we are just at the hour. I think we're making sure that everybody gets a cup of tea, and we're going to do that before the musicians start so that there isn't that accompaniment of clashing of tea cups and what have you. So we'll get your tea to you first. And then in a minute or two, these two gentlemen will take the show away and let you enjoy. Thank you. Apparently, I have one more thing to clarify. It is a sing-along, and you've already had your tea and your sandwiches. Now you need to sing for that supper. When it's the right time to sing, they will let you know.
She was very happy. Still living on her own. It's probably we drive our kids. But I think it's the grease. Driving crazy. And we get a lot more right now,
My mom didn't drive. is switches change anyway because you didn't know that previous owners did to the wire. So also vibrations can make those wires confusing, especially you don't want the little spark to get thrown there. So you basically, if you don't know what's going to happen with these plugs, you tighten them up or you change them. That's basically what you need. Yeah, change them to different wires.
something that's
Compatible, yeah. So you don't want the ionic. You can play this organ with Cedar. You can play this organ for church service. Steady work, it's like you use the pedals and then play the block. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. I'm not sure either, but it's, yeah, it's not like a pneumatic because it's just totally electronic. It sounds like a pneumatic is a keyboard. Goes through pipes.
So there's no pipes here.
No pipes. Yeah, it's just speakers. And it's a very good sound. The choices you can get, a little positive, chuck, 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 chuck. Yeah. The machine is the machine thing in the sense that they're gears. But these are specially designed for wireless because the gears are all inside and they're interplanetary gears. There's like a shaft in the middle and three gears around that. It's all miniaturized with titanium. It's basically stuff. Yeah. It's miniaturized like that. And so after turn the head 4 times to get one revolution of the shaft, so I can really fine tune it. And the more humidity, the dryness is going to affect it, but also when it's jamming.
I mean, you have to do that. Even 70 miles.
65 inches. Channels, 45, 60 minutes.
Sounds like you go out a mile like a pursuit.
I believe 13. I need 13 instruments. I don't know the numbers.
It's number 30.
Yeah.
So you made it.
I need 13. I converted a few other ones. Half the Chinese conversions. So I have a few of those lying around.
What do you buy all your supplies at?
Varnish and getting the hardware store, but you need to sell everything in the business. So this varnish, interesting. It's a spar varnish that I bought with gold valve gold huts. With an experiment. It's not bad. I'm not going to do it again. I tried to get another varnish. It's not.
Why do you use a boat varnish?
Because it's a long varnish. It's got hard oil. So I use it for the really
You
gold.
don't have to. You said you don't have to.
No, it has a lot of oil in it. And varnish for the protection against the water.
How does it change the wood?
Well, if you have a very rich varnish, it could affect the rigidity of the plate vibrations. And, hey, I tried this one. It looks nice. Just try something different next time. Yeah. She's got more helpers. I think we're probably going to start to. I've been collecting wood for my age. I'm going to make or when it's dry, it's top plate.
Made out of what? Oh, spruce.
Spruce, yeah, 24s are spruce. Cover the sun. And I went to the Reno district of Harvest in Ohio for the Reno report. I picked up a couple of planks of birch. And that one is made of that birch, beautiful birch on the back. Then I'm just thinking about, we don't have French Reno is a harvest. I could go to Reno.
How many pieces did you look at to find a piece of what?
Well, if I go to Reno, I just quickly look at it and see the birch, if it looks nice.
The other place?
Reno district. Well, yeah, I happened to be walking by. I was like, whoa, it's a nice, interesting piece of Douglas fruit. Whenever I'm walking by, I always look at it.
What is Douglas fir? That's spruce.
It looks like it's not the spruce family, but about next with the rock construction. Probably is usually made of Douglas fir. My dad made one of the cedar strips on the top of it, like 40 pieces of strips. Like a cedar strip canoe.
So you're a teacher?
Well, in a sense, I mean, I hung out with him. I was his apprentice, basically. So I helped him very while. No, we discussed it that time. I mean, he might be trying to make my first line, but I've seen how it's done. So I didn't need much instruction and the plans. I feel sorry for the people on the live stream, but it's just a music. That's true. Oh, because some people move from here to Oakland. I don't know. It's not capable. Yeah. Well, that's it. No, it's just an example. Not anybody is from across the country. I got my father-in-law picked up this. Yeah. Okay, so let's take everybody's got some tea. Because you're not going to sing if they have no sound. Yeah. Anyway, you can encourage them to sing if they're not singing. Okay? All right. Here, get it. Okay, let's go. You'd like to sing, yeah?
Good afternoon, everyone. And I'd just like to say it's a great pleasure to be here and to play some really wonderful music that you can sing along to. And I'm accompanied by my great friend and colleague, Peter Purich. My name is Peter Freeman. We're both Peters. And Peter Purich is also a luthier. Nothing to do with the German theologian Luther. A luthier is somebody who makes violins, and he actually made the violin he's playing. But I have to warn you, I didn't make the piano that I'm playing. That was made by a Mr. Steinway. Anyway, we're going to start with two songs. The first one is Let Me Call You Sweetheart. And it's a popular song with perhaps the most famous version being recorded by Bing Crosby. And the song was selected by the Library of Congress as a 2015 addition to the National Recording Registry, which selects recordings annually that are, quote, culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And we're going to go right into Bicycle Built for Two, which was composed by the English composer Harry Dacre. When Dacre first came to the United States, he brought with him a bicycle for which he was charged import duty. His friend, William Jerome, another songwriter, remarked lightly, "It's lucky you didn't bring a bicycle built for two, otherwise you'd have to pay double duty." And Dacre was so taken with the phrase, bicycle built for two, that he soon used it in a song. So here we go. Twice for Let Me Call You Sweetheart, and twice for Bicycle Built for Two. I'll give you a short intro for Let Me Call You Sweetheart. So a little bit Short intro first. One more time. Thank you very much. We're going to continue with an Elvis Presley song called It's Now or Never. It's a song recorded by Presley, and it was released as a single in 1960. It's one of the best-selling singles by Presley, selling an astounding 20 million copies. It's Now or Never is one of two popular songs based on the Italian song of the Neapolitan language, O Solo Mio. It is quite likely that Presley was inspired to record this because of his fondness for Mario Lanza, who had first popularized O Solo Mio to American audiences and who had died the year before It's Now or Never was recorded. So it's now or never. A little intro first. Thank you so much. We're going to play 3 songs in a row from basically the swing era, I would say. The first one is Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree with anyone else but me, and that's a popular song that was made famous by Glenn Miller and the Andrews Sisters during World War II. Its lyrics are the words of 2 young lovers who pledge their fidelity while one of them is away serving in the war. When the red robin comes bobbing along, became the signature song for singer and actress Lillian Roth, who performed it often during the height of her musical career from the late 1920s to the late 1930s. But it's also been recorded by Al Jolson, Doris Day, Bing Crosby, Edie Gourmet, and Dean Martin. And then we're going to proceed into When You're Smiling, which is a popular song made famous by the likes of Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday. And it's also, interestingly enough, it's the unofficial anthem of the Leicester City Football Club, which adopted it. Their fans adopted it in the 1980s. So When You're Smiling. So Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree, When the Red Robin, and When You're Smiling. A little intro to the first song. Just one time. Wondering why the notes look a little fuzzy, and I keep forgetting to put my glasses on because I only started wearing reading glasses relatively recently. I'm just careful not to wear them on the stairs because that can be a problem. The next 2 songs, I love the next song. It's the Tennessee Waltz, and it's a very popular country song that was made a multi-million seller via the 1950 recording by Patti Page. It describes a situation in which the persona has introduced his or her sweetheart to a friend and then waltzes away with her or him. And we're going to follow that with another kind of sad song, an Elvis Presley song, Are You Lonesome Tonight? And he recorded it in 1960. It was a huge hit, describing the pain caused by a broken relationship. The Tennessee Waltz and Are You Lonesome Tonight, I think, therefore, go very well together. So here we go. It's just one seat, Jim.
Yep.
A little introduction to the Tennessee Waltz. Both are such good songs. Now next we have a fairly lengthy medley because it's all the great and best songs from My Fair Lady. And of course, My Fair Lady is one of the great musicals by Lerner and Loewe. And the story is based on the 1938 film adaptation of George Bernard Shaw's 1913 play Pygmalion. And it concerns Eliza Doolittle, a Cockney flower girl, who takes speech lessons from Professor Henry Higgins, a phonetician.
Henry Higgins?
Henry Higgins, that's
Henry
right.
Higgins?
So that she may pass as a lady. Despite his cynical nature and difficulty understanding women, Higgins grows attached to her. The musical's 1956 Broadway production was a notable critical and popular success, winning 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. It set a record for the longest run of any musical on Broadway up to that time, and it was followed by a hit London production. Rex Harrison and, anybody remember? No, Julie Andrews, actually, for the movie. And Julie Andrews starred in both productions.
That was Audrey Hepburn. Who's the movie? It was Audrey Hepburn.
And Audrey Hepburn did.
Audrey Hepburn, yeah. She played Eliza in the movie.
Oh, that wasn't Julie Andrews?
No.
Oh, I stand corrected. In fact, I'll sit corrected in a minute. Many revivals have followed, and the 1964 film version won the Academy Award for Best Picture. So, My Fair Lady, and you'll know the songs. I won't need it. We're going to start with I Could Have Danced All Night. Or as my wife used to say, I should have danced all night. Thank you. A little introduction. Not that introduction. Okay. They've insisted that we stop so they may serve some sweets. Sweets, some sugar. And while they're serving sugar, I'll tell you all about the next selection.
That wasn't your phone that rang. That wasn't your phone that rang? I heard some.
No, my volume's down.
Okay.
So once these sweets are distributed, we're going to follow that with Blueberry Hill, not blueberry pie, or blueberry scones, or blueberry jam, but Blueberry Hill. And of course, it's a very popular American song, and it was actually written in 1940. And it was first recorded and released by Sammy Kaye in 1940, but it's best remembered for its 1950s rock and roll version by Fats Domino. So that's going to be Blueberry Hill. And after that, we're going to play Only You, a very famous pop song composed by Buck Ram and was originally recorded and made famous by the Platters in 1955. And just to waste some time, every time I'm at home and my wife says, will you get a platter? Or I ask her, we need a platter for this dish, she'll say, only you. So every time she says the word platter, you have to sing Only You. Anyway, Blueberry Hill, followed by Only You. And I think, should we stop? Should we start, Elizabeth?
Yep.
Sure. Good stuff. A short introduction to Blueberry Hill. The next song is Que Sera, Sera. Whatever will be, will be. And it was introduced by Doris Day in the 1956 Alfred Hitchcock film, The Man Who Knew Too Much. And it was sung in the movie as a cue to their on-screen kidnapped son. The three verses of the song progress through the life of the narrator from childhood through young adulthood and falling in love to parenthood. And each asks, what will I be, what lies ahead? And the chorus repeats the answer, what will be, will be. And the son is somewhere in the house, and I think the father was Jimmy Stewart. And Doris Day is sitting at the piano, and so she decides to play the song because she knows that when the son, who's being kidnapped, and he's in one of the rooms, he'll hear it, and this leads to the eventual rescue. Typical Hitchcock, a wonderful movie, actually. And it's a great song, Que sera, sera, a la Doris Day. So, a little introduction. Thank you so much. The next two songs are kind of, again, in the form of a medley. And the first one is I Don't Know Why. And of course, I don't know why you love me like you do, or I don't know why I love you like I do, I think. And it had three great periods of popularity: before World War II, right after the war in 1946, and in the early 1960s. The song has been recorded by many artists, including Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey. And then You Made Me Love You is the second song. And You Made Me Love You, I Didn't Want to Do It is a popular song from the early 20th century, and it was introduced by Al Jolson in the Broadway musical, The Honeymoon Express. It was also used in the 1973 revival of the musical Irene. And in 1937, Roger Edens wrote additional lyrics to the song for Judy Garland. So whenever I talk about this to my wife, I always say, I don't know why you made me love you. Those are the two titles. I don't know why you made me love you. So a little introduction to the first song. think they're going to open the dance floor now with two songs. The first one's Ain't She Sweet. Published in 1927, became popular in the first half of the 20th century and typified the Roaring '20s. Like Happy Days Are Here Again in 1929, it became a Tin Pan Alley standard and has been recorded countless times by such diverse artists as Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, Gene Austin, and even, excuse me, the Beatles. Now, if you go on YouTube and look up Ain't She Sweet, the Beatles, you'll hear it on an anthology from the early 60s, and it's done to kind of a rock beat. So it's the Beatles recorded Ain't She Sweet. It was kind of fun. The next song is 5'2", Eyes of Blue. Has anybody seen my girl? Which actually, has anybody seen my girl? The original title was of 5'2", Eyes of Blue. It's an American popular song that achieved its greatest popularity in the 1920s. The song has been recorded by Bing Crosby, Dean Martin, and Gene Austin, among many others. So, Ain't She Sweet? 5'2", Eyes of Blue, and we're going to do each song twice because they're not very long. So, enjoy a little intro for the Ain't She Sweet. Thank you. That's hard to listen to those without tapping your feet. The next song, Puff the Magic Dragon. And the lyrics for Puff the Magic Dragon are based on a 1959 poem by Leonard Lipton, then a 19-year-old Cornell University student. The lyrics tell a story of the ageless dragon Puff and his playmate Jackie Paper, a little boy who grows up and moves on from the imaginary adventures of childhood, leaving a disheartened Puff on his own. The story takes place by the sea in the fictional land of Honolulu. After the song's initial successes, speculation arose as early as a 1964 article in Newsweek that the song contained veiled references to smoking marijuana. This is Peter, Paul, and Mary, of course. The word paper in the name of Puff's human friend Jackie Paper was said to be a reference to rolling papers. The words by the sea were interpreted as by the sea, the letter C, as in cannabis. The word mist stood for smoke, the land of Honolulu stood for hashish, and dragon was interpreted as dragon, like taking a drag, inhaling smoke, like a dragon. Similarly, the name Puff was alleged to be a reference to taking a puff on a joint. The supposition was claimed to be common knowledge in a letter by a member of the public to the New York Times in 1984. Of course, this was disavowed by Peter, Paul, and Mary. So Puff the Magic Dragon, and you've got lots of verses and lots of chorus. It's a lovely song, very heartfelt. So Puff the Magic Dragon, a little intro. Thank you. I kind of call the next little medley the Frank Sinatra medley. It starts with Love and Marriage, introduced by Frank Sinatra in the 1955 television production of Thornton Wilder's three-act play Our Town. And Sinatra went on to record two versions of the song, with both arrangements being done by Nelson Riddle. The next song is My Way, and it's popularized in 1969 by Frank Sinatra, and it's set actually to a French song. The French song is called Comme d'habitude, and was composed by Jacques Revaux. And its English lyrics were written by Paul Anka and are unrelated to the original French song. The song was a huge hit for both Sinatra as well as Elvis Presley. It went on to become Sinatra's unofficial anthem. And the last song is the third song is New York, New York, theme song from the Martin Scorsese 1977 film New York, New York. It was written for and performed in the film by Liza Minnelli, and it was nominated for the year's Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song. Of course, it also became one of Frank Sinatra's signature songs and remains one of the best-known songs about New York City, the Big Apple. So, 3 songs right in a row, starting with a little introduction to Love and Marriage. Introduction. songs, such great songs, great songs. Okay, so we're going to proceed with four songs, actually. They're very short. First one is Happy Days Are Here Again. It's a 1929 standard that's been interpreted by many and varied artists, and it was also in the 1930 film Chasing Rainbows, and it was closely associated with Franklin D. Roosevelt's successful presidential campaign in 1932. The song gained prominence after a spontaneous decision by Roosevelt's advisors to play it at the 1930 Democratic National Convention. After a dirge-like version of Roosevelt's favorite song, Anchors Aweigh, had been repeated over and over again without enthusiasm, a participant reportedly shouted, "For God's sake, have them play something else," which caused the band to play the new song, drawing cheers and applause, and subsequently the song became the Democratic Party's unofficial theme for years to come. The next song is Roll Out the Barrel. It's the chorus of the Beer Barrel Polka. Lyrics were added in 1934, subsequently gaining worldwide popularity during World War II as a drinking song. I wonder why. The next song is The Happy Wanderer. It's a very old song, but the present well-known tune was composed shortly after World War II. The work is often mistaken for a German folk song, but it's actually an original composition. And then we're going to do Do, Re, Mi, one of the best-known tunes from the 1959 Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, The Sound of Music. Each syllable of the musical solfege system appears in the song's lyrics, sung on the pitch it names. Within the story of The Sound of Music, it is used by the governess, Maria, to teach the solfege of the major musical scale to the Von Trapp children who were learning to sing for the first time. So, Happy Days Are Here Again, Roll Out the Barrel, The Happy Wanderer, and Do, Re, Mi. A little drink. This is vodka, by the way. Not really. Okay. A little introduction to the first song. you so much. We're going to finish today's sing-along with three great songs. The first is "What a Wonderful World," and it was first recorded by Louis Armstrong and released in 1967 as a single. In April 1968, it topped the pop charts in the United Kingdom, but performed poorly in the United States because the president of ABC Records disliked the song and refused to promote it. After it was heard in the film Good Morning Vietnam, it was reissued as a single in 1988 and rose to number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100. Armstrong's recording was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999. The next song is "I'll Be Seeing You," or as my wife says, "I'll be suing you." Sometimes she says, "I'll be seizing you," but I think it's "I'll be seizing you in all the old familiar places." Never mind. "I'll Be Seeing You" is a popular song published in 1938 about missing a loved one. The song was inserted into the Broadway musical Right This Way, which closed after only 15 performances. There is also a 1944 film called "I'll Be Seeing You" that contains the song. It has been since recorded by such diverse artists as Liberace, Norah Jones, Billie Holiday, Bing Crosby, and Frank Sinatra, among others. And the last song is kind of not nostalgia. I remember this song as a kid, I'm sure you do. It's a song by Roy Rogers and his wife Dale Evans called "Happy Trails," and was known as the theme song for both the Roy Rogers Show on radio and the Roy Rogers Show on television, in which they starred. It was written by Dale Evans and always sung by the duo over the end credits of these programs. "Happy Trails" was released in 1952 as a 78 RPM by Rogers and Evans, and was reissued in 1957 as a 45 RPM. Members of the Western Writers of America chose it as one of the top 100 Western songs of all time. So "What a Wonderful World," "I'll Be Seeing You," and "Happy Trails," and it's been wonderful. I hope you had a good time. Thank you so much. Peter Purich. Thank you.
You're a great one.
Little introduction to "What a Wonderful World." much. You're really great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.